All right, welcome back to the Desert Well, where we do every week gather around the well that is Jesus to drink deeply from his good news, but also to be a part of the conversation. Today, you may be wondering, where on earth are we? Pastor, did you get a new office? I mean, this would be a pretty cool place to call my office. I don't quite think I'd get much done, and it would be somewhat hard to call people, hey, you're in the hospital. I can't hear you. All I hear are children.
Where's Pastor
singing.
Jared? He's playing with the blocks.
That's
He's
right.
rolling
Sorry.
around on the floor.
I need to go play with this castle. I'll be right back. Can't talk right now. And so we're here today. We have our special interview guest, as we try and do every month too, Miss Tonya Tomlin. You'll hear more about who she is and what she's going to do in this episode. But usually we like to say what our favorite part was. So, Tonya, what was your favorite part of the episode today? Why should people listen to it? Besides the fact that you're in it and they should want to hear what you have to say.
I think it's watching the two of you interact with each other like my children would,
That's awesome. All right, Derek, what about you?
There's some exciting announcements in there. That's all I'm going to say.
Cliffhanger. I think it's just good to hear from someone who's with kids all day long about how and why we do what we do here at Lamb of God in our preschool. And so you'll get to hear all about that in this episode. So we're glad you're here as we gather around the well that is Jesus. Enjoy this one. Last week we were singing High School Musical.
Oh boy.
Correction. You were
You were.
singing.
So I don't know how we can top that.
You can sing Tootie Top for
Yeah.
us.
Well, what's
There
the?
you go.
There you go. There you go. What's the? So you've told me a couple times that when I come here, kids know I have a song, the
Yeah.
Pastor Jared song.
Yes.
Remind me what it is?
This Little Light of Mine.
Okay, that's my song. So I have a song.
Yes, it's the first song that you taught them. So they consider it the Pastor Jared song.
It's one of those where.
Well, actually, it's not Pastor. Until they get to know your name, you weren't Pastor Jared, though.
Sure.
Either you were Pastor Sandals.
Pastor Sandals. There you go. I like that. I mean, it is
Very appropriate.
It is true. So
Yes.
I think let's start here. Most people don't necessarily know who you are,
Right.
and so before we introduce you as, I won't even say what your title is now because that'll ruin it. But who is Tonya, and sort of where'd you come from? What's your story? If someone were to ask you
Well,
who you are, how'd you get here?
My name is Tonya Tomlin. I am originally from North Dakota, a small town of 10,000, born and raised there till mid-20s. Went to the other side of the state, the Minnesota side, went to college, met my husband, got married, have a son that's 30, going to be 32 in 2 weeks.
And so it feels like you're working with your children?
Grandchildren. These are my grandchildren, so to speak.
Oh, I'm saying like us.
Yeah.
It's like
absolutely.
Hi, this is son number one, son number two.
Exactly.
I guess maybe you should be son number one because you're older.
A little bit. But so we moved from North Dakota and moved to Texas. My husband got a job in the airlines, which is what he went to college for. Moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, lived there for 24 years. I got involved in my church, started working at the church, and that went 10 years. Moved to another church, worked there for another 10 years, and then our son had graduated, and we decided that we have no ties in Texas, we have no family there. Let's move closer, because he had gotten a job with a bigger airline, so he was out of San Francisco, and we said Phoenix or Las Vegas, and we said, oh, Las Vegas has mountains, palm trees, pretty much where we were living financially, the climate of Texas. We said, let's go there. Knew nothing about it, blindly went, moved during the height of COVID.
Really?
When the strip,
okay. So when the strip was shut down,
we
all that
came
stuff?
to look the day the strip got shut down.
Really?
Look around, and we moved. COVID happened in March. We moved
March
in
2020, and you moved in May.
May. And so
that had to be so weird.
Those were wild
it
days.
was
coming here and
very, very strange. I found a job. My husband was temporarily on furlough because they weren't flying his aircraft because everything was so slow with the airlines at that time. I found a job on the south side of town, worked there for 3 years, had briefly met Derek through the directors' meetings, and one of my friends moved up this way, said, hey, you should check out this church. I live up in the area, so I checked it out and said, hey, when you hear they have a job, let me know. And a week later, they opened a job, and so here I am.
Here you are.
Here
And
I
so
am.
how long have you been here?
We have been in Vegas for 6 years.
Okay.
I have been here. This is my 3rd year at the school.
30. So if history bears its repeating, you've got at least 7 years before you start considering going somewhere else?
Yeah, well, that would be retirement at that
There we go,
point.
there we go.
But my husband doesn't intend to retire. He has to retire from the airlines, but,
Okay.
you know, he won't be content at that point. So,
We want you to stick around till then.
yeah,
sure.
we are not going anywhere. This is our final home. So,
That makes us happy. At least it makes me happy.
so
So
that's me.
you're a preschool teacher first and foremost,
Yes.
but the new title, we're calling her the site director, correct?
Yes, director.
The
Yep.
director. So our new preschool director, trying a different thing here, trying to split time between the class. Sorry. It's
All
okay.
right.
Hey, buddy.
I'll sit this way.
Split time between the classroom in the morning and then doing director duties in the afternoon.
Yes.
But I'm curious because I think I know. Like, how did you get into doing preschool stuff? Is this like I'm Tonya, I've always loved kids. I've always wanted to do this my whole life. Like, how does one in your life get to become a preschool teacher?
Well, you're correct. I've always loved kids. I started teaching Sunday school when I was 16 years old.
16?
Yes, I taught 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds.
That's
I taught
awesome.
a 2nd grade group that I wasn't quite sure that I fit into that age, that elementary age.
Sure.
I did Special Olympics in high school, was a coach for that, for many different sports, and went to college. Thought I was going to be a psychologist, and that
Oh,
plan
curious.
changed. You know, I got married, have a son, and when he went to school, when he went to Head Start, I volunteered a lot in there, and his 4-year-old teacher said, you know, you have something with the kids. You should think about this. So my son goes to kindergarten. I volunteer there. And 1st grade, our church was expanding their preschool from 1 class of each grade level to 2. And so I applied because it was during the time, it was a perfect job during the time my son was at school. And I became an aide in the 2-year-olds. And so it just took off.
Sure.
I spent 10 years teaching 2s. I moved to a different school, spent 10 years teaching 3s. When I moved here, I was kind of a floater where I would go from anywhere from preschool to 5th grade. So,
Wow.
and
That's a big window.
it is a very big window. And I would sub in all the rooms, be a part of that. You know, I knew all the kids there. So, but I missed my own classroom. So when the opportunity arose here, I jumped at it and have no regret. I am so happy to be with the kids again.
Sure.
I love knowing all of them, getting to know the elementary kids. It's fun.
And so we're in your classroom.
Yes.
I mean, it's
Yeah, different location for us this time.
Yes.
we're missing our awful green chairs. Although, if there's something anyone says to me about my office every time they come in, it's usually something like, "Oh, nice chairs." Which
Are they actually saying
can't
nice
re-
chairs,
that's
or are they
like,
just,
I don't know. Like,
are they
courteous.
just being nice?
do you really like the weird green?
I was happy to see them go from the elementary staff room that somebody actually repurposed them, that they didn't
When
go through the.
Believe it or not, I asked for them. Right, like that
There you
was in
go.
the email.
I want the green chairs.
That's right. I want the green chairs. Like,
There you go.
and I forget where it was that I read it, but something about like green is a color of calm
Yeah.
and peace.
Nature.
Yeah, right. And
Green
so
nature.
the maybe not that green, but green nonetheless. And so the heart was like, hey, if people are going to come sit in my office, like I know that
Sure.
I'm the pastor, and so I'm the scary guy, and so I want to make them feel as at ease. And so whether it's green and it makes them feel good, or it's just they're gaudy, and that sort of puts a wall down.
We should get you a couch.
Either way,
There you go.
yeah, that's like they tell you that at the seminary. You don't get a couch in your office. Like, just, it doesn't matter. You never have a couch in your office. The same reason you always have a window in your office door. Like, it just, yep, that's all I'm going to say. So anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Having gone through like all the grade levels then, like be a sub and a floater, you obviously came back to preschool.
Yes.
So what do you love most about the age? I mean, every age is different.
Right.
As I'm learning, you'll get to learn that too.
Yep.
They're all different, and the thing I'm learning is everyone says they're all hard for different reasons. So there's no such thing as easy parenting. Maybe when, you're grown, I guess, parenting can somewhat be easier.
Well, what I've heard is, if parenting is easy, then you're probably not doing it right.
Well, there you go.
Jeez, there you go. Fair. So, I guess
Yeah.
tell us a little bit like why you love the age that you do and what you love about preschool.
I love the 2-year-olds, obviously, because I did 10 years with them.
Right.
But when I moved, I never had an opportunity to do anything else. When I moved to the new school, they gave me the 3-year-olds, and I found that there's just so much more you get to see. It's a huge age level where they make huge gains, not only with their cognitive skills, but their fine motor skills. You watch them at the beginning of the year, just barely 3, and they're tiny. Now they're tall. I've got some that are reading.
Sure.
The capabilities, watching them write their first letter, their first name for the first time. It's all those aha moments, and watching them, and when they finally remember a song or, sing a whole prayer and are proud because they can do it. There's more of those moments.
Right.
Now I love the hugs aren't quite as many, and the wanting to spend more time with the teacher, snuggled up, but they're still there. So it's fantastic. But at the same time, I get to build with blocks with them. There's so much more that they do socially. So I think it's the best age. I'm kind of partial.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking with, who was I talking with? One of the kindergarten teachers this past week about like how in kindergarten, like you're sort of on the tail end, I think, of dramatic like gains, if you will, as far as like capabilities, learning, things like that. And maybe that's wrong, but it certainly is in preschool. Like you sort of, in my mind, it's like this kind of the leaps and bounds of kids and the way they progress that we see anyway is that way. Sure, they're growing and all those sort of things. They're
Right.
still learning.
Yeah,
But like
there's a lot of cognitive growth and stuff that happens still beyond that are big jumps, but it's not the
maybe
physical.
I'm just not there yet, so I don't
You,
know.
you just don't see them quite as much.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool. Like you get to be there for a lot of those things and see a lot of them, and just by nature of almost time, you get to participate
Right.
with them in the process.
Yeah. And I still have children. One of my students is now married with 2 kids, my very first 2-year-olds, but they still remember who I am. So at that age, even, some of the 5th graders now, I had a couple of
Sure.
them, and they know who I am. They fully embrace it. So it's good to have that.
That's really cool. Life, there's a couple of teachers in high school that I went to where, they'd been there a long time because it was like, I taught your mom when she was in high school.
Yeah.
And, she
So
was...
the story I was telling the other day,
That guy? Mr.
Mr. Baker.
Baker.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys?
Yep. He taught my mom too.
Which, like, it probably won't happen very much in a city like Las Vegas with how much people come and go.
Right.
But, I mean, especially in our context, like, preschool through 5th grade, I feel like it's a pretty... Could be
We're
a
getting to that
possibility.
point now, though, where we have...
Yeah, you were saying this the other day. What's our eldest
maybe not
alumnus?
maybe not our specific alumni. I mean, they're getting there. Because we've been 30 years
30
since
years?
we've been open in the preschool anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you're talking 33, 34 years old.
We may see their children coming
Yeah.
soon.
Right.
But there are definite ties with Lutheran, with some of the graduates from there. There have been tours that we've given on the preschool side of some of my former students. It's really weird.
Oh, sure. Like that they have kids?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Does that make you feel old?
Yep.
It will. Yep.
That's like I went to XP3 this past weekend and was reminded, like, yeah, I'm not a high schooler anymore or a middle schooler. Like, I'm an old man in some ways. I feel like, I forget what it was. Mrs. Dvorsky told me that Zoe said they filled out some of those, like, how old is your dad? And I think she said that I was like 50 something. It's like, thanks, Zoe. I love you too.
Yep.
I am that old. So when you think about the job, I mean, I think I sort of heard some of them already, but what would you say are like the greatest joys you get, the things that, hey, I get out of bed for this in the morning, so that when it happens, it's we use the language of like bucket filling. What are the bucket filling moments for Tonya?
One of them has nothing to do with school. It's outside of school. When you see the children outside of school and they scream your name when you're in the grocery store, or another one is just the same, but a student comes by every morning when they drop their sibling off at elementary, even though they're not here every day, and has to give me a hug before he goes. It's those little moments like that. It's the moments of the older kids that have gone and passed, and when I go visit my friends in Texas, they still remember who I am and will come up and talk to me. So it's I did something right to have them remember me.
Right.
So, but in the classroom,
You were influential. Yeah.
yeah. But in the classroom, it's those little aha moments where we've gone from, holding a pencil fist grip to finally getting that proper writing. And they're so proud. They'll tell you to come watch them color because they're doing it right. Or they've written their name, or, when we're playing a game that they finished it, or they did a puzzle their first time. It's just those moments are the ones I enjoy, I think, the most, and they fill you up.
Right. I think some people could, or at least I feel like I've said this to my mom. So she used to work at a daycare with young kids, and maybe it was she who said it all the time. Oh, like, I know they're never going to remember me, all that sort of thing. And in some ways, like, do your students necessarily remember what you told them or what you taught them necessarily? Probably not. I mean, maybe a little bit when you get a little older, they do.
Yeah.
But it's the, hey, I remember who this person was.
Yep.
Right?
And the relationship.
Right. Like, I remember Miss Tonya. She was a good teacher. She loved me. She cared for me.
Right.
She's someone that I can say, hey, I want to say hi to you.
Yeah.
Not I don't want to say hi to you and I avoid you and I go the other way.
Yeah, there's some of those teachers you do
that's right.
when you're in
like
high school. But
I probably wouldn't say hi to a couple of, I guess I would say hi, but it would be like, oh, hi. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
So what's the flip side, though, like the hardest part of being a preschool teacher?
It's a hard question because it depends on the day sometimes. I think the hardest is the struggle. They come, they're 3, they don't understand a lot. They don't understand why can't I have that right now? It's getting them to learn some of the rules. They aren't fun for them. We're trying to also prepare them for pre-K and then on to kindergarten. So this sitting and circle and why can't I touch my friend and push them, and those are hard struggles.
What's theirs.
Yeah.
What they have
Right now.
Yes,
I need that.
It's mine. It was mine 10 minutes ago. It's still mine 2 days from now.
Yeah,
So.
even though I'm not playing with it.
Perpetuity. That's right.
Yep.
It's sitting over in the corner.
I'm looking
But
at
it
it.
is
and
my
it's mine.
eminent domain over there. Don't you dare.
Yes. Other than that, all the staff that I've ever worked with, I've had good relationships with, so there hasn't been any of those struggles where you feel frustrated about something, but you just don't know how to say it to them. I'm a pretty open person, open door. Come to me and talk without a problem, and the parents are like that too. If they've got a problem, they know they can come and talk to me on a personal level if they're struggling with something. And I think overall that's probably the hardest, not knowing what's going on at home and knowing that it's influencing what's going on with children, and you want to fix it, but we can't.
Yeah, and sometimes we get snippets of it, right? They'll share a little bit here or there.
Yeah.
The parents will share a little bit here or there, but oftentimes we don't know the whole story maybe.
Right. And they're our responsibility here. They become a part of our lives. So we want them healthy and happy at, whatever we can do to make that. Even if it's just the 4 or 5 hours a day we see them.
When it's hard too, I mean, I feel like most little kids people label them as like oversharers, right? I mean, little kids will.
Sorry.
There's no filter.
Yes, go ahead.
Right.
And then ask me about where my mind went on that.
Yeah, I mean, they like to have no filters, and so in some ways you get more glimpses of those things.
Yes.
But then, at least in my life, like, I never know if I can necessarily believe what my children tell me either. It's not that I'm distrusting of them.
Yeah.
But it's I understand they see the world through their eyes and their desires and their perspectives, and so it's even how do you know if that's the full truth and nothing but the truth? If you want to use that sort of language too. And so it's hard to meet kids where they are without knowing the full story, because it is so much is influenced by what they hear, see, experience at home, and it's hard for me to remember that even as like a parent, like, hey, they're not necessarily not listening because they're evil. Well, maybe they're hungry, maybe they're tired,
right?
Maybe something happened at school where they felt something and now they're here and they're trying to work it out, and it takes in very intentional energy and thinking to like actually engage with that kind of mindset. Right. So go ahead, and then I have a question about that. Where did your mind go, dear?
So you might not know this. Have you seen the guy who does what kindergartners say on social media?
Just like
I'm assuming he's
account?
No, I'm assuming
sure.
Sure, you can call it a parody account maybe, but I'm assuming he's a kindergarten teacher, and he's got like multiple videos about things that kindergartners have said. It's hilarious.
Like
all over the place.
Sure.
It's
Yeah, kind of a, well, this is way dating myself, but kids say the darndest things kind of scenario.
Sure. They do.
Yes.
It's true. It's true. So my question is, how do you live into that? Like, so how do you keep that sort of mindset at like the front, like hey, this is not just the surface level reaction, like there's probably something deeper here, right. Because again, I don't think it comes naturally to people, and B, it's very important to do so. So like, how do you do that?
I think I've learned over the years how to do it. It's not something, like you said, that comes naturally. I think it's an emotion you have to learn. You have the compassion, but you also bring the faith into it of what would God do in this situation? How is he written, what's written in the Bible about what we can do to show that kind of compassion, but at the same time get the kids to talk about maybe their feelings or what they're feeling at the moment or why. And it all comes from them trusting you. If they don't trust you, then they're going to be a little more hesitant about telling you what it is. So it starts from the first day when they walk in that door, that happy, cheerful teacher, administrator that shows them they're happy to see them and that everybody's being greeted. And once you form that bond, they'll begin to trust you. So.
And it's some of that takes time, right? I mean, you can't, even little kids who are very trusting.
Yes.
It still takes time to them. I mean, I don't know how many times it was until Silas actually was not afraid of you.
No, you're not to give me a high
There
five.
was like the longest time when he would be so excited that Derek was coming over to our house, and then when he would get there, he would immediately just run away. Right? He wouldn't hit, or like it was like a full-on like shoulder, I'm afraid. Sort
It's
of
the
thing.
beard.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
but now it's not. Like it's now he's excited. Now it's Mr. Derek, Mr. Derek, Mr. Derek, Mr. Derek, come show me, you should play with me, all those sort of things. And so it takes time.
And I would say though too, you can't. It's not something that you can fake.
No.
Right.
The kids,
they pick
especially
up on
at
that
this
real
age,
quick.
they know if it's real or not.
Right.
There is no tricking them. They are more keen on that than some adults are.
Sure.
Sure.
For sure. So what would you say to someone who would say, I don't know how you do it. You're with kids all day long. Aren't they so exhausting? How do you survive?
I survive because they fill my cup.
Sure.
Now, my reverse would be, I don't know how you do it. How can you sit behind a desk all day? Or how do you sit in a cubicle all day? I have the best job in the world. I get hugs. I get loves. I have pictures colored for me. I get affection all day long. If that doesn't fill your cup, I don't know what would.
Sure.
I get to have fun and teach children about God, about numbers, letters, colors, in a we do it in a fun, exciting way. We're the start of many, many years of school. And if we don't start it in a fun, engaging way, they're going to be unhappy from day one of school. And they've got 18 plus years to go. So.
Good.
Oh, I was just saying, I've learned that preschool is like very different. Early childhood education is very different than even elementary. And coming from the secondary background that I was formally trained in, right, it was very much so like, oh, the little ones are scary. But I would say, like an example from today, I was walking to fill up a water bottle out here, and there was a student that was out here, and she couldn't get the lid back on her cup, and then I looked in the cup, and she didn't have any water in there to begin with. And I was like, oh, do you need this filled? Yes. So I fill it out, put the lid back on. And then she's walking away, and as she's walking away, turns around, waves. 5 steps later, turns around, waves again. 5 steps later, like all the way down the sidewalk. And yeah, the level of like affection, of care that you receive from the preschoolers, yeah, it's fun to see, fun to be a part of.
So talk a little bit about the faith stuff, right? So obviously we're a Lutheran Christian preschool,
Right.
if you will. And I mean, I think a lot of ways, some people would say, well, I mean, it's preschool. Like, what are you teaching them, sort of thing?
Right.
How are they learning about Jesus? That's isn't that what Sunday school is for? Like, how on earth are you going to do anything that's going to be meaningful or foundational for them?
Right.
What would you say to somebody like
We
that?
incorporate faith in everything we do. We sit down in the morning, we'll pray before we get up and play. In my class in particular, we are using some of the things that the church has incorporated. We are Jesus' God's hands, feet, and mouth. And we talk about in the morning, we're going to use God's hands, we're going to be nice to our friends, we're going to use God's feet and walk in his path and try to be like him, and we use the kind words like God does. We have on our board, we have a lesson of the month. God loves others. We talk about the Bible verse of the week. It's in every fabric that we do. We sing songs. My children wake up from nap that stay to listening to Christian songs. And their bodies have become attuned to listen to the Alleluia song and waking up to it. So,
Nice.
But it's everywhere. It's not just we're going to sing a Jesus song and we're going to watch a Bible, or read a Bible story and that's it. It's throughout everything we do, from doing crafts that are Bible story themed to, at chapel today, the kids were talking about listening to their parents and listening to God's word and following through with that. The pre-K class did a little play on it. So it's everywhere that they are a part of in this school.
And what, at least I feel like I've found by experience in a way that I feel like I wouldn't necessarily have believed as much until you experience it, that especially in things of faith, there's the things that are taught, right? So maybe we need to teach them certain things, tell them
Right.
certain pieces of information, but a lot of it is the stuff that's caught, especially at like
Yeah.
this age, so it's like why they can say the Lord's Prayer even at young ages. I mean, you ask the kid, what's trespasses mean? And they probably have no idea, right?
Right.
But because we've said it, they can catch it. The same with like the songs, right?
Right.
If we went and said, all right, you are going to learn this prayer song, well, they're not going to like learn it by that. They're just going to learn it as you sing it and as you do it,
Right.
as you repeat it over and over again.
Right.
And I mean, there's so much to be said for learning in that way, and so much to be said for just life in general. Like hey, think about the ways and the things in which you're doing and what your children are catching from you, rather than just the things that, you stop and you say, hey, little Johnny, don't do this. Like that's a teaching
Yes.
moment, sure. But what are the things they're catching? So I'm curious from your perspective, I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. What have you seen and changes? I mean, I'll just ask it that broadly. Like what changes have you seen, whether it's in parenting, in children, in education? I'll let you swing at that one however you want. What have you seen in your time?
The biggest changes we've seen is outside influences, TV, electronics.
Sure.
The kids need more animated things. We read stories, but we as teachers have to make them more animated for them to be interested in them. We normally read them in silly voices and things like that, but they have to be more exciting. So it's changing the stories we're doing, some of the activities. Their interests seem momentary.
Sure.
So they don't necessarily spend a half an hour playing with Legos or building anymore. They're doing a little 10 minutes here, a little 10 minutes there. So it's a little more spotty, which isn't a bad thing because they'll come back to it.
Sure.
But it's adapting to that where you can't necessarily go at this age anyway, and maybe in the twos, okay, we're going to rotate through things and you're going to put it away. Well, I've just built this huge creation and now I can't do, you're telling me to break it down even though I want to go play Play-Doh? And I think it's just, I see more today, more grandparents involved in their lives, families where when I was younger teaching, we were spreading out more. We were moving away from our families, and I see more families coming back together now. So I have a lot of grandparents involved with their children's lives, not just from picking them up, but some of them are living with them. So we're getting the generationals
Sure.
in there.
What sort of like impact do you feel like that will have on kids and stuff like that?
I think we're getting back to where they may be spending more time with their families than not necessarily their friends around, but they're getting to learn about their families. They know their cousins more now than per se my son in his early 30s do, because we were moved away from families. But now with the families together, you got cousins close. We have more capabilities of traveling than maybe we did it 20 years ago. So you're seeing more of them coming and going. And I think the family thing is important. Yes, we have our friends that are we call part of our families, but there's just something about blood too.
Sure.
That, we're supposed to stay close to them.
Right. It happened again last night where we were praying for our family, and Silas listed Derek and Becca and Malachi as our family. And it's like, it brings me literally to tears to like think about that. But it also is like this is great. And like we have family that my kids don't understand. Like, we're not biological family. I mean, I guess maybe if I grew a beard, we might look somewhat similar. I don't know. But it's sort of in a place like Las Vegas, especially when so many people are from somewhere else, you kind of have to create your own family.
Right.
But yet, there's still a place for biological family.
Right.
And that uniqueness that only they can fill.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I see my, pre-K teacher in my life as a person of wisdom and knowledge, right? It's you're with these kids in this age all the time, so
Right.
I just assume you know everything, basically, for better or worse.
Right.
And so I've asked, Mrs. Dvorsky multiple times, like, hey, she's doing this. Is that normal? Like, is this, like, is she doing this at school? Like, is that how things should be? And
Yeah.
In many ways, I am sure that you play that role for other people too.
Yeah.
Like parents look to you as a, I don't know, call it a source of authority,
Right.
but like a, or even just a comforter in some ways, like a, is this normal
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Especially
Should I
with,
be worried about X, Y, Z?
Right.
Is this
Yes.
weird? Like, is my kid
Yes.
gonna be that kid? Like,
Yeah, it happens more often, I think, with first-time parents.
Sure.
Because once you get
That's
to
fair.
the second and third child, you're like, oh, they'll be fine.
like, whatever.
They're going to be just fine. You know, they're happy to come to school. They're coming in.
Sure.
But I think as teachers and educators, it is partly our responsibility to be that comfort when they do ask questions like that and say yes, or if you have questions, here's a place that I have looked. And
Sure.
you know, for my training, the years of training that we have to take, it's helped us educate and be prepared for those questions. But you know, we're here for the children and the students, but it doesn't mean that we're not also here for the parents.
Right.
In some shape or form. You know, when they see something wrong, they're going to go to the first person that spends the most time with their child, and that's usually us.
Right.
So
I mean, even in some ways, depends on the situation. Like, you might spend more time with their children.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
a very good
because, like, on a-
possibility.
Like a
On a-
hour by hour basis.
Yes.
They're not spending time with them when they're sleeping.
Right.
And so if you get 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night, that's 4. But if they're here from 7:30 to
Right.
3:30, that's a lot more than 4 hours.
I was going to say, on a good day, I get a little bit more than 2 hours with Malachi.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right. And so I think the best vision, at least that I would say, of parent, teacher, student stuff is that, I mean, Luther would use this language, that the teacher is an extension of the home.
Right.
Right. And so when you think about what are we here to do and what are you here to do, it's why we lead with our, I won't use the word values, but that's what popped in my head. But why we lead with our faith, that hey, this is what we're here to do. It's what we're going to focus on doing while your child is here, and we would love for that to be a thing that you do when you're at home too, because then it's an extension of, call it training, call it brainwashing, whatever you want to call it. But I want to brainwash my children for Jesus because I think it's the most important thing they could ever have in their life.
Yeah. If they don't learn anything else the entire time you're here, as long as they've learned that Jesus loves them, no matter what they do, that's our goal here.
Right. So do you find yourself offering or telling parents like what's the advice you find yourself giving these days? Is there something that's like common?
If you're asking a question about it, then, you know, whether it be a medical question or concern, then your gut is usually right. If you're coming to me saying, I have a question about this, your gut's usually right.
Sure.
When it comes to your children. You know,
Trust the
you've already got the concern, and you've got the concern enough already to ask somebody else. So there's probably, you know, there's pretty much certainty that you're probably right.
Have you had any of those moments yet? Like or is that a Becca thing? Like a parenting instinct?
I'm much more like, he's fine.
Well, see, so that's an instinct too. Like
Yeah.
your instinct is it's all good.
Yeah.
Is he breathing? Yep. Does he have a pulse? Yep. Is he crying? Yeah, he's fine.
He will be fine.
Yeah.
Becca's going to listen to this if she does, and she's going to be like, no, Derek, no.
Well, and I mean, I think there's like I always like to think about it it's why marriage is a gift too, right? It's a companionship, partnership, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Like, if we were all the same and function the same way, then that would not be good, right?
Right.
There's balance and opposites, all those sort of things. So it is a very mysterious thing, the parenting instinct. Emily and I seem to have called them disagreements about whose instinct is correct. So, being a preschool teacher, I'm sure you have lots of stories, the darndest things they say.
Oh, yes.
Is there any like funny stories that come to mind today?
Yep. There is one that always sticks in my mind.
Okay.
I had a little boy, my second year of being a lead teacher. I was an assistant the first 2 years I taught, but the second 2 years in, I had letters on there, and we were trying to teach them just to recognize the first letter of their name, and they were 2.5 to 3 years old at that time. And so we asked him, and I'll tell you his name. His name was Caleb. And so I looked at him and I said, Caleb, what does your name start with? What letter is this? I don't know. I'm like, oh, Caleb, we do this every day. What letter? I don't know. And I said, okay, we'll go to someone else. We'll come back. So we went to someone else, came back to him, and he looked at me and he grabbed my assistant by the collar and he said, geez. I told you I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
And now Caleb is 22 years old, and he looks at me and he goes, I never forget when I don't know.
That's crazy, because I don't think people always ask each other, like, what's your earliest childhood memory?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like that early for me.
Well, and I've been a part of his life since he was 2.
Gotcha.
We're good friends with his parents, so I see him all the time. So that probably helps a little.
So what's your earliest memory?
I think my earliest memory is me at like a putt-putt golf course, like throwing a fit and pulling the grass out of the, like, that's like the earliest thing I think of. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that's it, but that's what comes to mind. I feel like I have to ask you, what's yours?
I was 3, and the only reason I know this.
Wow. See, like, that's what blows my mind. How do you remember that?
I was at the babysitter's house, and I was talking with her daughter, who was, 6 months younger than me. And I was like, how old are you? And I remember she held up 3 fingers, and I was like, you're not 3, I'm 3.
Only one person in the world can be 3.
Pretty much. But I can picture exactly where we were, what we were doing, like,
wow.
Whole thing.
That's wild. Do you remember your first?
I do. I think I was 4. And we were in the process of moving into a house across town. And I decided I was just not going to move. And I got in my dad's truck and I decided to drive it. And hit there was a,
sure.
1980 stick shift, and it went right down into the street. So,
my goodness.
That I was determined that I was not moving.
There you go. Good for you. That's crazy. Yeah, I feel like I need to try and go back and remake my earliest memory, because it feels rather lame compared to those stories.
What? You were throwing a fit.
That's right.
It's a good memory.
It's a good memory.
Yeah, I guess. One of those things. Whatever. Yeah, and I still don't like losing, even today. But I do like putt-putt golf. So it obviously didn't, turn me off to that for the rest of my life. So you had a question you wanted to ask. I feel like
Are you through all yours?
Am I through all mine? I still have like 1 or 2, but that's okay.
He always comes prepared. I never do.
Yep.
I got to.
I've learned, though, because even if I do prepare, he throws me a curveball anyway, so.
What did we say this week? You didn't know, or you know now that you're being interviewed when you come on.
There you go.
The desert. Whenever there's not a person in your seat, Derek knows he's the one who's being interviewed.
Just the hot seat all the time.
Unless I see Derek
keeps him on his
with
toes.
a pad of paper, then I know he's going to interview in the podcast.
No, even the time that I was supposed to ask the first question, we still didn't. He still managed to find a way to ask me a question.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. I'm just along for the ride. Okay, so new preschool director position.
Yes.
What are you most excited about with the position?
I think just getting to know. I know the people that I work with currently, but it's on a different level. This is more on a personal level when you teach. But now I'm going to learn them on a professional level, getting to know the parents a little bit better, because I see my parents in my classroom, but I don't necessarily see a lot of the other parents. So getting to know them, I do a pretty good job of getting to know all the students regardless. That's the kind of person I am. But it's those more connections. And learning to juggle the two. I've been doing it for a little bit. And some days are easier than others when I'm in class and the kids are like, the phone's ringing again. Who is it now?
It's Mr. Blessing.
Or someone knocks on the door and they know when I open the door, they're like, hello. But yeah, it's learning. I think it's the personal connections that you make in a different position.
And what would you say are maybe some of the challenges moving forward too?
As far as the new position, I think it's just doing some of the things that I've never done before. There's a lot of things that you see on the outside when you see a director, and you kind of, oh, okay, they did it. But then there's those things that you are behind the scenes that you never see. So it's taking on some of those that I think will probably be my struggle.
So what, and kind of shifting gears a little bit to thinking more like in the future, whether it's distant, not distant, like again, up to you. But where do you see Lamb of God Preschool in the future?
Ooh, I'm excited for this question.
Well, I would hope we're expanded. We're fairly full now, which is a great thing. We've just added an 18-month-old program that registration is going well for that. I love that we're adding that new group. Seeing that expand to 2 classes, or the 2-year-olds expand to 2 classes, would be a great focus. But those are high in the futures, obviously, because we are at max for building space. But that's if you don't wish big, you can't get a small game.
All of the classrooms will be used next year, which will be nice.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It is really exciting.
Good thing to happen. So.
Yeah. Cool. I will just give a disclaimer, just for anybody who's watching this. There's still space to sign up, so if you want to sign up, come register
At
with
least
us.
as of May 7th at 4:15 p.m.
There you go.
Yes. So when we say that we're full, we're pretty full currently for this current school year.
Right.
There are some classes, of course, that are full, like for next year already.
Right.
But there's still space. Come join us.
Absolutely.
I'm not supposed to look at the camera, but I do all the time.
You gotta.
Derek breaks the third wall all the time. The wall crusher. I'm here.
Yes.
So, last question I would say to you, if a parent comes to you and says, hey, I haven't necessarily been doing a lot of this faith stuff at home, or I don't really know what to do or how to start, what would you tell them? Like, just start here.
The easiest place to start is to join us on Sundays.
Sure.
I mean, we have a great program here for families. The family service is geared more towards I would say, pre-K to first grade. It's easy. It's a way to get into it. There's Bible studies to get into. But if you're beginning your faith journey, where better to start it by coming to church and being a part of a social group that's doing the same thing. Studying the Bible at home is fantastic, and learning how to read your Bible and understanding what's in there is great. But God made us to form groups, and
Can't do it alone.
Going to church
Right.
is a great place to start that, where you will find the people that understand it or understand you, have similar likes, and then you form those groups and start those studies together.
Right.
Who was the author of the book that I just gave to you to read?
I have no idea.
Anyways, the book's called Family Worship. What I took away from it, anyways,
It's very
three
simple.
things.
You don't need to read the book.
No. Well,
I mean, I guess.
Giving me the cliff
I guess
notes,
you should.
thanks.
would we have gotten these 3 things if we hadn't read?
Yeah, you're right. Let me save you the time of reading the 70 pages.
But it was 3 things that we should be doing as families, and it was reading scripture together, praying together, and singing together.
Oh.
And I think that a lot of families
At a dedicated time.
generally speaking, yes, yeah, or at least regularly.
Right.
I think is like if you have to throw it out of the time
Like
of dinner time, do it before bedtime type of thing. But just do it was kind of the whole
Right.
thing. No, I don't remember what I was going to say.
Sorry, my fault. I think it's
I do
it's
remember now.
intimidating. We think it's simple, like
Yeah.
it's just that.
Well, and I think most people are okay with praying. That's pretty common, pretty standard.
Right.
Now you add reading scripture into it, and I think that there's probably more people fall off on the reading scripture, and then
Right.
even more so fall off when it comes to the singing.
Right.
And so I think a lot of people are comfortable with praying, not as many maybe comfortable reading scripture out loud together. I remember when Beck and I did it together for the first time, it was weird.
Yeah.
It's like I'm reading to you.
That's right.
And the singing part of it, I think when your kids are little, it's different.
Yeah, I think it's easier to do when they're younger, but when you hit that middle to upper, even elementary, I think more people probably are more comfortable doing it in their vehicle, driving to or from. You turn the radio on, have Christian music, and they're singing the songs then.
Christian folk music.
There you go.
Milka is going to be a Christian hipster.
He's going to be
With
playing
his
the banjo
little
or something.
Banjo. Gonna have long hair and
Mountain Man.
so. That's really it. Was this as hard as you thought it was going to be?
No.
There you go. See?
No.
Is there anything else that you would like to share, though?
No. This was fun.
It was fun.
Always is.
Especially when you already know the people that you're having a conversation with. So that helps immensely.
It's all about relationship, right?
Yeah.
In some ways. I've always thought about it in the sense of, if, especially as a leader, I mean, you're a leader, that you could use relationship as a reason to not lead. Well, I need to be everyone's friend. I need to be the buddy, so to say. Or you could use the relationship to actually do the leading, right? It's because I care about you. It's because I care about you that we lead together, that we have hard conversations, that we challenge each other, because we know it's hey, we're in this together. This isn't coming from some place of like, rah, 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 rah.
Right.
Which maybe isn't necessarily the right way to describe it, but I think you know what I mean.
Yep.
And in that way, it changes those things, because it's more of a hey, we're all in this together. There we go. We did it. High School Musical.
Full circle.
That's right. That's what we were supposed to sing last week, right? I was supposed to sing that last week.
Oh, that's right, because we did film another episode in
Or
between.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, that was the one that I was supposed to sing. So
There you go.
we appreciate you and all that you do here.
Thank you, guys.
And we're excited for
You're,
what's going to
you
happen.
know, as you said, relationships are the reason people choose where they are, and the relationships here are the reason I choose to stay. So, and that doesn't just mean my coworkers, it's from the leads to the secretaries all the way down to the children. So it's a full thing.
Very good. Excited to have you on board in a new, exciting role, too.